light shine so bright, you might go blind.
Hi everyone, and hello to my German people here. I'm Ernest, the founder of Finance Blog for You. I'm a Ghanaian living in the United Kingdom who has previously lived in Germany. On this channel, we talk about finance-related topics. So we talk about stuff like school applications as well on this channel. And in today's episode, I have a very special guest who is called Michael. So, Michael and I go far back as 2019. So, I've known him for quite some time. And we always refer to him as Champion President. So, if you hear me calling him Champion President, then you should know that, it just comes by default. So, before we begin, I want to say a very big thank you for honoring our invitation. When I had the idea of setting up this channel to help other people, I contacted Michael, and it was very much. Um, I was very elated that he came on board. He was supporting the idea to help people and make an impact that matters. So, on that note, I will say a very big thank you to Michael. Thank you very much. Could you please introduce yourself a bit, Michael?
And yes, thank you very much for inviting me on your platform. And it's a good job that you're doing to help people, colleagues, other international students back home in Ghana and even across other countries to, get to know, the culture. Germany is all we talk about Germany, right? The culture in
Yeah.
Germany and how they can go about those who want to apply, prospective applicants could go about applying to schools in Germany, how they could further their education, the cultural shocks, um, and many more. So for me, it's an honor, and for me, and also something that I'm excited about, and I'm excited about today's discussion. Um, so, like you rightly said, I'm Michael, currently a PhD candidate, and I come from Ghana, and I that's where I had my basic education, my senior high education, and also my bachelor degree before I moved to Germany somewhere in 2018 to start with my master's.
Interesting. Nice. Yeah.
Yes. And so back in Ghana, so I went to Accra Academy. From Accra Academy, I went to the Kwame University of Science and Technology,
Oh,
where I
wow. That's
pursued
impressive.
urban planning. But then I think the title of the program was in BSc in Human Settlement Planning, which is
Yeah.
spatial planning or urban planning.
Hmm.
And then afterwards, after national service, I decided to move to Germany. Or I came over to Germany to read my master's in environmental management at the Christian Albrecht University of
Oh,
Kiel.
wow. That's
And
very interesting.
yes, and at the moment, I'm a PhD candidate with the Logistics University in Hamburg, and also a research, associate at the Center of Sustainable Logistics and Supply Chain at the same university. So this is something small about myself. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. That's very impressive. So, thank you very much, Michael. And so we'll just, dive right in. So, my first question would be, I know you did your master's in Germany before you moved on to do your PhD at the moment. So could you please, let us know what made you decide to do your master's in Germany? Because there are so many countries. So what was the drive, or what was the factor that made you decide to do your master's in Germany?
Yeah, good question. Thank you very much, Ernest.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so it all started when I was in senior high school, because then my big brother, who is also at the moment doing his PhD, also in Hamburg,
Oh, wow.
had opportunity
Yeah.
to move to Germany to do his masters. And at that time, I was in senior high school, and so I took inspiration out of it. I was like, okay, um, if my brother, has been able to, after his bachelor's at the University of Ghana, Legon, has been able to move to Germany to pursue or to further his education.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's something I would like to follow the same path, right? So
Yeah. Makes
that
sense.
was the
Yeah.
first time I took inspiration in that.
Oh,
And
okay.
so this was a dream I had far back in senior high school.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Now,
Oh, that's very nice.
exactly. So in fact, so going to the university, it was a dream I had. So
Oh,
whatever
okay.
thing I was doing was just to follow the path that could lead me to further my education abroad. And the
Abroad. Oh,
target
wow.
and the target was Germany because my brother came here in Germany, right? So I started
Yeah.
reading more about it, asking my brother questions. How is Germany? How are things going? So in fact, I got to know, a lot about Germany, even though I was in Ghana and I was at that time finished senior high school. I was doing my bachelor's at the Kwame University of Science and Technology, right? So then I got to know, okay,
Yeah.
Germany is a land of ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so for me, so it was then, so Germany was the first choice. And then I also had at the back of my mind the United States, the
Oh,
land of
okay.
the land of
Yeah.
opportunity.
Land of opportunities, of course.
Yeah, so it was between so it was between the land of ideas and then the land of opportunities.
Okay.
But then also I realized that okay, the opportunities here in Germany, in terms of getting admission, in terms of trying to, further education here, compared to the
Yeah.
United States, it's a bit flexible. Why am I saying this? Because then when my brother had admission, my brother
Hmm.
also went to the Christian Arbration University of Kiel.
Oh, okay. Wow. I
Exactly.
see. That's
So
a family university.
family university. I remember he getting the
Yeah.
admission at that time. I was in senior high, and then he showing me the admission letter, and he gave me a brochure of Kiel. I was like, wow, I have to go to this university. But
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
I would definitely, so it was something I had in mind. So back to what I was saying. So it was between these two countries, right? But I said Germany had much flexibility in terms of what, because then I realized that okay, the United States, if I want to get an admission there, I have to go and then write the GMAT or the GRE. Add
Wow, you're right.
that to
Yeah.
um my school certificates and the transcript and all other documents, right? But the GRE and the GMAT is a must because you need to get a scholarship to be
Of
able
course.
to further or
Yeah.
to go to the United States to further
Yeah.
education, right? So then I looked at Germany and I was like, okay, fine. So the Germany system is offering free tuition also for international students. And most of the applications you are not or you are excluded from writing the GRE or the
Hmm.
GMAT. So for me, I also look at that and I'm like, okay, fine. Both educational systems are very
All
great.
good.
I
Of
will
course.
go.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
So that was one major reason. And also because I knew when my brother was going, it was free tuition. The only thing that you have to do is to have a means of, financial proof to show that you'll be able to take care of yourself there in Germany.
Yeah.
Which is the money that you would even put in a block account, or if you get a form of application letter, maybe we will discuss about that later. It's
Hmm.
still your own. It doesn't. No one is going to take your money.
Yeah.
So
It's quite a
basically,
lot. Of course.
yeah. So you
Yeah.
just apply, and if you're lucky and you get admission, that was,
I mean, yeah, it's much less costly, less stressful.
exactly.
So I really do understand it because I also went through the same thing.
Mm.
And I mean, my story was similar to yours, where I felt like Germany will give me free tuition. So why do
Mhm.
I need to, go and stress about IELTS, right? TOEFL,
Yeah,
GRE, kind of jazz, that comes with its own stress. And
exactly,
coupled
exactly,
with that, you might not get full scholarship and you would have to fund the rest of your fees,
exactly,
which is quite difficult, especially if you are coming from a background where you don't have lots of money at home.
exactly,
So
exactly.
yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so that was one major inspiration. And then again,
Okay.
also my brother was here. I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, okay.
So my brother is here. And I knew at that time because I was doing a lot of research. Like I told you I had this dream back in senior high school.
Yeah.
Going to
Yeah.
university, always I was reading about things about schools, in Germany, schools in the United States. It was between Germany and the United States, but Germany was number one, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
and more. So it's the research is important, right? So I was reading a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
was reading a lot. Though my brother was seeing something, I asked him some questions, but then I also took it upon myself to do my personal research,
Yeah. That's good.
right?
Yeah.
On and I think maybe later on we'll discuss about that. So I was doing that.
Of
So then
course.
I got so that was one thing, and then the second thing was family, right? So my brother was here, and then my auntie was also here.
Oh
So
wow.
I was like, "What?" So flexibility in terms of applying and getting the school without
Yeah, you have
going
a lot
through.
of German buckets as well in your family,
Yes,
so that will make
yes.
it easy. Yeah.
So I was like, family, flexibility. I no GRE, no GMAT.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
most of the schools here at that time when I was applying also, so far as you did your bachelor's in
Yeah.
an English institution or in a country where English is the official language, you're also excluded from writing the IELTS, right? The IELTS,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
or any of these English proficiency
Proficiency.
certificates.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Exam,
that's
right? So
true. Oh, okay.
Germany would be the place that I'll go. Yeah, so
Oh
that
yeah,
was
yeah,
what
yeah.
made
That
me
makes sense. That
choose
makes sense. Yeah.
Germany, right? Make a year ago. Yes.
Yeah, well, it was the same in my situation where, with my university, I also went to University of Applied Sciences Kaiserslautern. So I
Mm.
did masters in financial service management, and as part of the prerequisites, I didn't really need German, which was
Mm-hmm.
a big relief. So
Mm.
in that case, what I had to do is go to my university, which is University of
Mm-hmm.
Cape Coast. I had to get a letter that says that my degree was um was taught in English. So basically
Yeah.
that was the only thing I needed. Yeah, which was a really good thing and it was a relief.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really do understand where you are coming from. So thank you very much for clarifying that. So now let's move to the application process. Could you please walk us through the application process for a master's degree in Germany and what it entails?
Okay. Yeah. So thank you very much, Ernest. So basically,
Yeah.
like I always say, so you first of all you need to do research. You need to research, right? To get to know about the
Yeah.
university appliance, and there are several websites or platforms you can do that, right? So one is the
Yeah.
DAB platform. And if you go to that platform, it will give you a list about a list of universities in Germany, right? And the requirements that they need, the deadlines when they're going to open applications, right? Also the Masters
Yeah.
portal. So the DAD, the Masters portal, these are all platforms that you could go, right, to get to know the universities in Germany.
Of
And
course.
I think my germanuniversity.com, this is another platform, right? So there are a lot of platforms where you could
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
So for me, at that time, I was using Masters Portal, right?
Okay.
Masters Portal to search for the universities I want to go. So then when you go, the platform is so easy that you just have to put in the program you want to do, and then the city you want to go, or you want to the city that you're looking, or you want to go there, and then for your university education.
Yeah.
So you just put all these information there, and it would show you the universities. It will give you the requirements
Mm-hmm.
and also the deadlines, and whether you pay school fees. Because some schools at a time were paying tuition fees. Because if you
Mm-hmm.
go to Wittenberg, Stuttgart, those
Yeah.
areas,
Yeah.
and those that you don't have to pay,
Of
right?
course.
So
Yeah.
you will get all this information. That's the first thing I did. And
Yeah.
that's the first thing that if you want to apply, you need to go research about the universities, get to know what the requirements are.
That's true.
Once
That's true.
you do that, the next
Mm-hmm.
step is to make sure you have all your documents readily available. Some schools require that during the application process, you apply with certified
Copies.
documents,
Yeah.
copies of your certificates or transcripts,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So one thing I also did at that time was to also go to the German embassy to go and
Okay.
certify my certificates.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I already had certified copies there,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the good thing about going to the platform to research about the university is that it gives you all this information, whether the university requires that you submit a certified copy or not. So you get to know all these things so that you could prepare the documents accordingly. And so,
Okay. Okay.
for me, that's what I did. So I
Yeah.
certified because I knew that some of the schools I wanted to apply, of course, I didn't apply only to the University of Kiel, but I also applied
Mm-hmm.
to other schools. And some of the
Yeah.
schools required that I applied with certified copies.
Okay.
Yes. So the documents that I needed, I realized I needed, or most of the time, the documents that it's kind of cut across, you need your bachelor certificate if you want to apply for masters. You
Mm-hmm.
need your transcripts,
Okay.
right? You need to have a CV,
Yeah.
right? All the schools also require that you apply or you add CVs to your applications, right? Some will say,
Yeah.
okay, you can use a standardized CV format. At that time, I think University of Kyoto, they were using the Europass because they wanted
Okay.
to have kind of, a standard format, right? So that
Yeah.
applicants are sending different CV styles and what have you, right? So at that time, I think I used Europass to prepare my CV.
Okay.
And and then again, because like I said, that if you did your bachelor's in an English institution or the language of instruction was English, you are being excluded. Most of the time, they want to see a proof. And so, like you rightly said, you went to your English department to collect this,
Mm-hmm.
something like an attestation or a proof that your
Yeah.
bachelor's was taught in English, right? So I also went to my English department, the Kwame University of Science and Technology, to take my English certificate or proof
Okay.
that my bachelor's
Mm-hmm.
was really taught in English. So I did that. So I also had that document there. So what?
Okay.
Bachelor certificate, transcript, CV, English proficiency, and then also
Yeah.
motivational statements
Okay.
or
Okay.
I would say statement of purpose, right? Why do you
Yeah.
want to apply for this particular program in the university? So and
Okay.
that one you have to customize that based on the program that you
University.
want to apply and in the university you want to
Of
apply.
course.
So these
Yeah.
are
Because. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so these are the core documents that you need, right? In addition to that, you need to have certified copies just in case the university requires. Some universities do not
Okay.
require. You can apply with just scanned copies. And once you
Yeah.
have been admitted and then you come to Germany on the
Mm-hmm.
first day of registration, you need to show the original copies before they
Yeah.
are register you. So most other universities that's what they do. And then
Okay.
yeah, and then once you have all these documents and the application portal is open, you go to the website and then they'll ask for your details and then you fill the details and then you upload these documents on the
Mm-hmm.
platform and then you can send
Yeah.
your application. But then you need to the first thing that I said, do the research first. Go to these platforms. Know when the applications are going to open. Know when
Okay.
you should know the deadlines of all the universities and when they're also going to open the application. Because then you know, okay, fine, at this point in time, I'm going to apply to this university. At this point in time, I'm going to apply to this university. And that you'll
Mm-hmm.
not be overwhelmed knowing that, okay, fine, you have few days to go and then you've not applied in school. So once you know that,
Yeah.
when to apply to this school, when to apply to this school, when to apply to this school. One tip
Of
is that
course.
most of the universities, they open somewhere in February
Mm-hmm.
for the winter semester. The application
Yeah.
open somewhere in February, and
Yeah.
most also end somewhere in June. But around this time,
Mm-hmm.
most schools the deadline will be around June. So you just have to
Yeah.
know these information. So once you know these information, in addition to the documents that you've already prepared, then you are good to go.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. I think you've said it all. I mean, at this point, there's nothing to add. You're a champion president, so you've said it all. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. So I would like to ask a follow-up question. Um, did you encounter any challenges during the application process, and how did you overcome such challenge? So that if there's anyone watching us and going through a similar challenge, maybe they can pick, certain bits and bobs from this video.
Yeah, I think one major challenge is that some universities you could apply on their portal. You don't have to pay any application fee.
Okay.
But then again, majority of universities here in Germany, you need to apply through a third party, which is called Union Assist. And Union Assist would have to process the documents Sometimes, and then afterwards, you forward your documents to the university. Sometimes the university will even require that Uni Assist would convert the grade that you had, right, into the German grading system. They call it the VPD. And
Yeah,
after you
yeah.
get that from Uni Assist, then you use that to apply to the university. Now the challenge here is that if you're in Ghana and then you have to pay this union assistant, that can be a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at that time when I got there, I was like, okay, so how am I going to pay
Yeah,
this then?
yeah, yeah,
Lucky
yeah,
enough, my brother was here. So I called him and said, no, I have done everything. So like I said,
yeah.
I did my application. I did all the applications by myself. I have done
Okay.
everything. I'm going to this point. Please,
Just
could you
live with the
pay
money.
the
Yeah,
money you gave me, right? But if
of
I'm in
course.
Ghana, assuming my brother wasn't here, that was going to be a huge challenge.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
so then
Can
you have to
understand.
think, okay, where are you going to pay? So maybe you go to my EcoBank or where. So that's a challenge, So that payment, right? And then you have to pay through union. So I think that's a challenge.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And another challenge is for me, I think is some schools, okay, when you're applying, they ask for a model catalog.
Okay, that's new to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So this model catalog, because sometimes, of course, you have you have your they'll get your transcript, right, and they'll know the courses that you
Okay.
do. But sometimes they want to
Yeah,
know that, oh, okay, the bachelor you did,
yeah.
the program you said you studied, it matches, or it could help you pursue their master's program.
Okay.
And for them to get to know that, they want you to have or provide or add things to your document, this model catalog from your previous university or where you did your bachelor's.
Okay.
And that could be a challenge because for me, when I went to take, of course, I knew that okay, first semester we'll do this, we'll do that, but model
Mm-hmm.
catalog, I mean,
Yeah, it's something new.
yeah, we chose detail. I mean,
Yeah.
details about the models and courses that you have. Here they have the model catalog. Here in
Okay.
Germany they have, and so sometimes when you get there, you're like, okay, you are stuck.
Hmm.
Okay, you are stuck. But this is just a minor challenge, right? For me, the major
Okay.
challenge will have to do with the uni assisting,
Yep.
where you have to deal with application, right? Apart from that, okay, the rest is you preparing in time, right? So, and I don't see any challenge with the rest because then, if you are to
Mm-hmm.
write a statement of purpose, I mean, you need to know the program you
Yeah.
want to apply and why you want to apply to the program. And so that
Of course.
I think, and then you get someone to mentor you after writing, give to someone to review. So that one is not a challenge, right? And also getting all your
Yeah.
documents readily available. If you've done your bachelor's, getting all the documents readily available. I don't think that is a challenge. So for
A major
me,
challenge.
and yeah,
Okay.
major challenge. So for me, my at that point in time, I was lucky my brother was here
Yeah.
because then I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like, ooh, okay, 60 euros, 70
Problem.
euros.
Yeah. Half
Okay,
sold.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also the challenge here is also that sometimes uni assist takes long to process your documents.
Oh yeah. I
If you're
can
going
attest to that. Yeah.
yes. So if you're
Yeah.
going to pay through EcoBank and before EcoBank will transfer the money and it will reflect into the account of uni assist here in
Yeah.
Germany, that is already going to take some time, right? And
Of
before
course.
they,
I had to go through that, and it was
yes,
very stressful, daunting, and
yeah,
challenging. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I was lucky. I thank God for that. Look, I just called him, hey, you are here in Germany, please transfer the
Yeah.
money. But then, if I put myself in the shoes of people who don't have anybody here, I think, yeah, it's a challenge.
It's a blessing, of course. I mean, I also had the privilege of having a family back in Germany, and
Mm,
that gives you that cushion or someone to
mhm,
fall back on in case of anything. Because
yes.
you move to a country where you virtually do not really understand the language.
Mm,
Language is a very major factor. Yeah,
yes.
and then you have to navigate through studying a new course, combining studies with your life, working
Mhm,
part time as a student, which is very typical. So
mm,
combining these things can be very challenging if you don't have anybody to like fall back on,
mm,
talk to, or those kind of stuff. So I really do understand where you are coming from.
mm.
Lovely, lovely. Okay, thank you so much. So at this point, I think we can move to the financial aspect of things, which is really key. in anything there's money involved. Without money, I mean, you can't really do anything. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
in that regards, I would like to are some of the financial aspects of studying in Germany? And did you apply for scholarship, financial aid, and also how did you handle living expenses and tuition fee? Because I mean, looking at students in other countries like UK, Canada, and all across the globe, it comes with certain costs that you have to incur. So I
Yeah.
would like to hear, what you went through.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I think so for me, so in the first I'll start from this, I mean, from this point, right? So before you come to
Yeah.
Germany, you need to show proof of finance, right? So for me, I came here with a formal obligatory letter, right? So in that case, that financial thing, I use that the formal obligatory letter, right? So once I go to Germany, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I think one good thing about Germany is the fact that students are also allowed to work, right, for 20 hours. I mean, per week, right? And
Yeah.
to get some money to foot your bills, right? The rent and other things, right? So
Mhm.
getting to Germany again. So once I arrived in Germany,
Mhm.
I think few weeks, I started working, right?
Oh,
So in
that's
terms of
good.
financing, one major means of financing in Germany for we the international students is
Yeah.
working,
Okay.
right? It's doing
Yeah.
student jobs, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
student jobs, I mean working in the factory, restaurants,
It's
yeah, or doing
restaurants, warehouse, cleaning. I mean, we
yeah,
had to do so many different jobs. I
exactly.
plan to, talk about that aspect of my life and how I transitioned from doing menial job to like corporate job and what it
Yes,
entails, so that if anybody is going through that, you should believe there is light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe you are doing cleaning, warehouse, and
yes,
you are being so hard on yourself that, I mean, this is not the abroad or the arbitrary, as my Ghana people
mm,
will say, that I envision. They
yeah,
thought, everything is rosy, everything is all nice, you go, you party, you enjoy.
yeah,
People have different perspective in terms of
yes,
coming to abroad,
yes,
but
yes,
sometimes they don't know the nitty gritty or what you
yes,
need to go through. Do you get it?
yes,
So I
yes,
believe sometimes we need to let them know what it entails, so that
yeah,
if you are making a move and you know what is ahead of you, at least you are a bit prepared and you search
yes,
yourself for such a move. So
exactly,
yeah,
exactly, exactly.
definitely. I like that point, that you touch
Yes,
on
yes.
that. Yeah,
Yes, yes. So I mean, and that is the one of the major means, right? Because of course you would have your money in your block account, but then you
yeah,
you wouldn't love to just go in every month and then just go take money from that and use to foot your
of
bills,
course,
right? So
of
you
course.
need to work,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the only jobs you could do are these. I mean, the jobs that you've already mentioned, right? We here in Germany
it's the
call them
easiest ones.
the
Yeah,
colleague jobs,
the
right?
colleague jobs. Thank you.
You need to do them, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, the German people can relate to colleague, colleague.
the
Yeah,
Germans, yeah, people. I mean, they can relate to that, right? So and it really really I mean it helped me, and I think it also
yeah.
helped people, other international students here, because
Of
then at the end
course,
of the
of
month
course.
you're able to foot your bills. You don't go to your family, your friend, or even if you have
No.
money in your block account, you don't touch it,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
it was really life saving. Of
Of
course,
course.
sometimes the environment could be a bit hostile, because I remember, and I'm going to share my experience. So maybe I will just touch on. So one major means of finance in terms of the education is free, but
Mm-hmm.
your living
Yeah.
expenses, one major means of getting money to foot your bills was doing the jobs that we've already mentioned, right? So then, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's what I lived on till um I had my PhD,
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so,
I
so
understand. Yeah.
I remember getting here. I told you I started work like few weeks, you
Mm-hmm.
know, in a warehouse, right? In a
Yeah, I
warehouse,
also work there. I also work
yeah.
there. We don't want to mention the name, but
You don't
yeah, it's
want
a
to do it,
warehouse.
yeah, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
warehouse,
I
right?
also work there. Yeah.
So we went there, and the thing is that I mean, you need to get the money, right? But sometimes the
Mm-hmm.
environment could be a bit hostile because you are in a country where you can't even speak the language, and the German language, you can't speak it, and then you go to the warehouse, and then the people there are speaking to you in this language, and the people there are a bit cold, and I mean the atmosphere is not so nice, but
It's terrible. Yeah.
you are in a foreign land, you need to
Hmm.
survive, you need to get money to foot your bills, and so you should do it. And
Yeah.
for me, I did that. I
Hmm.
did that till I had some other jobs to do till I used that to during the course of my masters to
Very important.
survive. So that was what I used. That was the major means or source of funding for me.
Of
No money from my
funding. Oh,
parents, no money from my brother, no money from my
yeah.
auntie. I lived on from these jobs, right? I had money
Yeah.
from them,
Yeah.
and then I used them to pay my expenses. Luckily enough, education was free, so that
Oh, yeah.
was
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, for mentioning that, because I also did all sorts of jobs when I was in Germany, because you need to survive. You are in a
yes.
situation where your people back home, I mean, the Ghanaians and Africans, sometimes it's not just you. Even though you're a student, they don't care because
No,
they
yeah.
believe you are in the abroad. So
Mm,
you are forced to even do extra shifts so that you'll be able to
mm,
send some money to your relative, your
yeah.
friends. People
Mm-hmm.
will just be billing the buggers. As my Ghanaian people say it, people who are in abroad, we call them buggers. They'll be billing us, and it's quite a challenging situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I totally understand what you are talking about, and I've been through it, so I really understand it.
Mm.
Okay, so thank you very much for touching on that. So we can now move to the next topic, which will be about your arrival and adaptation in a foreign country where English is not the official language. So in terms of that, how was your experience? And I mean, when you arrived in Germany, and then was there any like cultural shocks in terms of social life and then academically? And then can you highlight one thing that really shocked you when you got to Germany?
Okay. So, yeah. So I mean, in terms of adaptation, right? So for me,
Yeah.
so before coming here, my brother was like, Mike, you need to learn some German. At that time in Ghana, I thought this guy was joking, right? But he was here, so he
Yeah,
knew the importance of the language, right? So
of course.
yeah, but it's what I never had a time to learn the German, so I arrived
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
Germany knowing nothing, right? Nothing. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was very lucky in terms of adaptation because when I arrived at the airport, okay,
Hmm.
my brother was already in Hamburg, and he met me at the Hamburg airport
Oh, okay.
and took me from the airport home.
Hmm.
You understand? If
Yeah.
I hear the stories of others where they have to arrive, they don't even know where their university is. One guy told me he had to sleep at the train station for like three
Oh
days
my God. Wow.
in Dortmund.
That's hard.
He didn't know
Wow.
anybody, right? So the adaptation, the shocks, and everything, it's really important. That's why sometimes when you're coming here, you also need to do some background check, get to know someone in
Yeah.
the region that you're going to, and then
Very
link out,
important.
right? Yeah, yeah. They say it's 3 days for me. So from in my case, my brother was here, so then he took me home. So I felt comfortable. So
Yeah.
in that situation or at that instance, I was okay. I was like, okay, I thank God for this. I thank God that I was here, I thank God for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and yeah, because for him, when he arrived, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
no, 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 no. When I arrived, it was around winter, right?
Oh
I
wow.
got to, but then when I was walking on the streets, I mean, in Ghana, mean, the people there in Ghana are really lively, right? And
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
but I think it was winter, and everyone was really serious, right? And people were just moving fast and just minding their business. No one
Yeah.
is smiling, and I was like, "Okay, these people are a bit cold, right?" I mean,
Yeah. Let me just chip in there, not to shade anyone, but I remembered one of the first expressions I heard when I moved to Germany was that, it was my uncle who told me. He said, Germans are like their weather. it can literally be raining the next moment. The sun is shining, so you can't really predict them.
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah. So that was something I was like, okay, wow, okay. Then, then my brother and I, we got to the room. My mother was like, okay, we'll be going out, right? Then he was like, Michael, we have just 2 minutes to catch the bus,
Mm-hmm.
And we got on and he was running. I was like, okay, what? In Ghana, we are used to, you go and the trotter will come and then you just
Yeah,
take
yeah,
it and
yeah, yeah, yeah. If you old people are running, how much more you youngsters? Yeah,
the punctuality, the exactness, the
of course,
time,
of course. Yeah,
and if you are just 1 minute late, the
the
bus is not
train
going
is
to wait
gone.
for you. And I
Yeah.
was like, wow. And the bus says, okay, to arrive in 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That time, and the bus come, like, okay, okay. So that
Yeah.
was like, okay, I'm from one country to another country, and I'm like, okay, really, these people really respect time, and they don't joke with their
Mm-hmm.
time.
Yeah.
That was another culture shock in my very first few days in Germany, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Time, and then the people really not being a bit cold because that time it was getting to winter.
Yeah.
It got to a time. It took some time for me to understand. Okay, during winter, the people are
Yeah. They are like the weather.
during the summer. They are all. With
Yeah. A bit
they
bubbly
are
and
lively. They are happy, and then, so that was a shock because people were really serious, and everyone was just going straight to take the train, and no one was smiling. So for me, that was a cultural shock. And
yeah. Oh, okay.
one other thing also has to do with the language, right? And I remember, so after from Hamburg, I came to Kiel, and I had to pay something, and I couldn't figure it out, um, and I didn't know what I don't know how to approach the people. So I approached one person. I'm like, okay, can you please help me? I'm like, I can't speak English, and so the person said it in German, right?
Yeah.
That he doesn't understand what I'm saying. I was like, okay, wow, what my mother told me.
It can lie down its English expression. Yeah.
Yeah, he said ich verstehe nicht.
Ich kann nicht. Yeah.
Yeah, Spanish English version. I was like, okay. At that time, I also didn't understand the
Of course.
German he was saying, right? I just needed help,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so that was also like, one thing you needing help and you not getting it because of language.
Language
I
barrier.
mean
Yeah.
barrier. So that was also for me in my very few first days
Yeah.
was also some kind of of a shock for me my first
Okay.
days.
Yeah, I can understand because let me just drop some golden nuggets here. For me, I had the opportunity of learning A1 Deutsch because I was
Mm,
advised that it will really help me if I know
okay,
basic German before I
okay,
come to Germany. So
okay.
I went to a German school. I did A1.1 and A1.2. And
Oh,
then
really?
after that, yeah, that was when I moved to Germany.
Mm.
But even with that,
That
I
was really
remember an
good. Yeah.
experience. On this note, all I have to say is thank you very much for sharing your experience and the insights with us. It's been really, really inspiring to hear about your dedication and hard work. And you've put into achieving all these. Having a master's and now doing a PhD. It's not a small feat. Some of us, I can't even think of doing a PhD. So I think it's a really great thing. And I hope our viewers have found this conversation very motivating as have. And thank you very much, Michael. It's really, really appreciated. Um, um, when I reach out to you, you happily, volunteer that you want to help someone out there. You want to touch a life, as just like the way I am also concerned about helping someone out there. I mean, it's good to give some sort of information to someone who is like looking for this kind of information, because it's not easy to find people like you to give this kind of insight. So all I say is that thank you very much. And if they have any question, they should drop it in the comment section. I'll be able to, get back to this senior man if there's anything I need to clarify with him. If I'll be able to answer, then I'll give you all the answers you guys need. So on this note, guys, don't forget to like this video, subscribe on this channel, and then hit the notification bell so that in case we drop anything, you'll be notified, because there's a lot of content coming your way in terms of finance related topics, in terms of corporate Germany, corporate UK, in terms of applying for schools abroad. So we're going to talk about US, Germany, Canada. There are so many people who have volunteered to, share their experience and make an impact that matters, which is really amazing and wonderful to hear. So on this note, I say thank you very much, our champion Presido. Thank you so much. And then to all viewers, take care, everyone. And thanks for watching this to the end. I really appreciate the support. And I will say we will talk again. When I'm in Deutschland, I think I'll hit you up. So on this note, I'll just say, Danke schon, einen guten Tag.
Your point, yes.
You are the German expert. Yeah, and then I'll say auf Wiedersehen, and until we meet again, bis zum nächsten Mal. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the day, Mr. President, and thank you for, honoring our invitation. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ernesto. Thank you very much for having me, and keep the good works. And yeah, we'll link up shortly. Once you're in Germany, just get in touch. And in Hamburg, we just have to link up.
It'll be nice.
Yeah,
it'll be nice. Yeah. Okay, then have a nice afternoon, and we'll catch you some other time. Thank you very much. Okay, then choose. Bye. Choose. Bye.